What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another review for Monday Night Raw. This one is from May 22nd, 1995. Raw this week starts off with Racer Ramon taking on a jobber. He has Savio Vega in his corner again for this match. Racer is said to have qualified for the King of the Ring tournament, and they also mentioned that Racer won back the Intercontinental title for the third time, but Jarrett actually regained it. Looking into it, Racer won it in a ladder match at a house show in Canada, but a couple days later at another house show, Jarrett won it back. Of course, they do this every once in a while as a way to trick fans into believing that anything can happen at these house shows, so they can't afford to miss even live events. So they gotta buy tickets to these because anything can happen. Just like seeing Razor Ramon win the Intercontinental Championship and then Jeff Jarrett winning it right back, basically making all that meaningless at the end of the day. But getting back to the match, Racer hits the back suplex off the middle rope and then signals for the Racer's edge. He picks up the guy, but instead just shoves him back down and covers him by just putting a foot on his chest for the win. As he walks to the back, we see Bret Hart make his way down to the commentary table to confront Jerry Lawler. When I first noticed Bret, I thought it was Raven from ECW for some reason, but Bret came down and told Lawler that he will never be as good as him. He asked Lawler what it's going to take to get him back in the ring. Any terms, any match, anything that he can dream of, Bret Hart will accept just to get his hands back on him. Even though at this point, it's wrestling, just beat him down right here, no consequences, and you'll get what you're looking for. Jerry doesn't answer him, so Bret gets closer to him, and Vince is telling him to stop. So Bret starts getting on Jerry until some officials come out to pull him away. That was one of the better segments from Bret, when he isn't being a kiss ass towards his opponent and he really wants to kick the other guy's ass. I also think that he called him a scumbag, and they bleeped it out. I didn't know that that was a banned word. So yeah, if you're ever on live TV, don't say scumbag because they're going to bleep it. So next up, we have the Raw in-ring debut of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Jerry and Vince continue to talk about what just happened during this match. Helmsley picks up the win with the Triple H. Technically, if cutters are named after the initials of wrestler, then it would be called the Triple H, just like it's called the RKO. But in all seriousness, Helmsley gets the win after he hits a cutter on the jobber. He is 1-0 on Raw, which means he's one win away from winning the Birth of Faye Dominance Award and it getting renamed in his honor. It has to be via submission or pin though, just remember that. And we haven't seen Birth of Faye on Raw to defend her award, so Triple H already one win ahead. Or should I just call him, I'm not going to call him Triple H just yet. I might slip up and do it, but I'm going to try to wait until they actually call him Triple H on the show before I start calling him that. So yeah, Helmsley here wins his match. We will see where that award takes us. If you don't know what that award is, I don't either. I know what the award is, I just don't want to explain it all over again. We then get a message from Bob Backlin, who is running for President of the United States. He gives his take on the American education system, basically saying that we in America are all stupid, and when he becomes president, he's going to implement some rules to change that and make us all intellectuals. So hopefully he wins the upcoming election. Next up, we have the British Bulldog and Lex Luger picking up a win over a couple of jobbers. Bulldog got the win with a power slam. Nothing else going on here, just getting these two guys on TV and a win. It might be these two taking on Owen and Yokozuna at King of the Ring, so we'll see what they got for them. Then we have another enhancement match, this time Barry Horowitz taking on the local guy who they named Kama Mustafa or something like that, not sure. Barry gets some offense to start the match. Kama though realizes he can't beat Horowitz clean, so he starts giving closed fist punches, which are illegal. And this ref must have been paid off or something by the $1 Million Man because he's not doing anything about it. And then Kama gets Barry into a leg submission hold. Now, I'm pretty sure last time we saw Horowitz was when Jared kicked his leg out of his leg and basically injuring the kneecap, tearing it 100% off the bone. So the WWF not doing their due diligence here and allowing Barry to come back from such a horrific injury before he was 100%. So Kama re-injures Horowitz and basically forces him to submit because his leg isn't at 100%. And even the toughest of guys aren't going to be able to take getting their legs snapped in half. So Barry Horowitz here, got to give it up to him, but he didn't have any other choice but to submit. So out of nowhere, the jobber, Kama, gets the upset win. Then, after 7 long weeks, we have the return of Shawn Michaels, who is taking on King Kong Bundy. This was originally just set up as a return match for Shawn, where he was taking on another member of the same faction of the guy that took him out, that being Sid. Hopefully you guys followed that scenario that I gave you. But after I said last week that it didn't make sense why Shawn would be going after anyone but Sid, they made some sense of it by making this a King of the Ring qualifying match. So yeah, getting into the match, Bundy tries to attack Shawn before the bell, but Shawn is able to turn the tables and is able to stay on top of Bundy with his speed to start the match. King Kong Bundy though does get control back and gets him in a couple of rest holds to slow the match back down. We see Diesel and Bigelow in the back watching on our monitor. Then Shawn hits a couple of bad looking crossbodies from the top rope and then hits the super kick for the win and to qualify for the King of the Ring. Diesel and Bam Bam make their way out as Shawn is celebrating. Diesel sticks his hand out, but Shawn is reluctant to shake it. But instead, Shawn tells Diesel to put his hand in the air, and they do the high five that they used to do. Bigelow races their hands, and now they are buddies again. A possible six-man tag match between these three guys and three members from the Million Dollar Corporation somewhere down the line. So even though they didn't really do it as much, and when they did do it, they were heels, it was cool to see Shawn Michaels and Diesel doing that high five spot again. A pretty good babyface turn and help from Diesel there to get Shawn over, I guess. So after we got a commercial, I believe the Screamo in black, so I'm just guessing. I'm watching it on the Peacock. Obviously, I'm not watching it live, so I don't know if this was after a commercial, but we come back and Vince asks Lawler if he's going to accept the challenge from Bret. Jerry can't speak and says he has something stuck in his throat. Big pause on that one. So Vince cuts him off because it doesn't look like he's going to get any answer yet. So he throws to The Undertaker, who says that he will go through Jeff Jarrett to become King of the Ring. And that is how the show ends. I'm going to give this episode a good grade. It was basically all jobber matches with the exception of Shawn versus Bundy and the Kama match. Looks like they're actually going to be pushing this Kama guy after getting him a win over the man, the myth, the legend, Barry Horowitz. The segment with Bret Hart was also decent, even though, again, I don't really care for the feud with him and Lawler. Then we have Shawn Michaels qualifying for the King of the Ring instead of King Kong Bundy, so that's a plus. So I wouldn't say that this episode was complete trash. Yes, a lot of skippable matches, but they do serve a purpose in the long run. I know I shit on the jobber matches a lot, but that's usually when there is nothing else on the show worth watching. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm out. Catch you guys on the next one.